Olga says her life changed 14 years ago when she made her first jump into an ice hole. Like many generations of Russians and others around the world, she claims cold water swimming keeps her healthy in both mind and body. But is it really as healthy as some claim? Scientists at the Extreme Environment Laboratory in Portsmouth University suggested it could be potentially life-threatening for some people. They have been studying the effects of cold water on the body, particularly the heart.
One of the reasons, the cold shock response, is a significant cause of death. So in the UK, about 60% of those that die falling into water die from the early responses to immersion. And immersion in cold water is the second most common cause of accidental death. In most countries around the world, and certainly in the UK, we lose about 1 child a week and about 2 people a day.
Death in cold water was generally ascribed to hypothermia or cold shock response, when you gasp and your heart speeds up. But scientists suggested that there is something more that happens with the body when we swim.
Cold water does another really interesting thing, which is when your face gets cold and wet, your heart rate, and just your face, your heart rate slows down. And that is a completely different response. That's a response called the diving response. So if your face gets cold and wet, your heart rate slows down. If your whole body gets cold very quickly, your heart rate speeds up. So we have 2 conflicting inputs to your heart. One that is pressing the accelerator, making the heart go faster, and one which is pressing the brake, which makes your heart go slower.
In theory, this conflict might be dangerous in combination with other predisposing factors, such as a genetic mutation in the heart, which is estimated to affect 1 in 5,000 people. Though for most of us, cold water is safe if we swim properly. But does it have the miraculous benefits for the health and immune system that many claim? Naomi Collier, a PhD student and cold water swimmer, is looking for an answer.
What I found was that the cold water swimmers did get less colds than their partners, and that they got less bad colds and shorter colds than the pool swimmers. So it looks as if there could be something going on. I'm going to run that study again over the coming winter to get some more people, because more data is always better. And the study that I'm about to start now is looking at people who are just starting cold water swimming for the first time. So I'm taking blood and saliva samples from them before they start, after 6 weeks, and then again at the end of the summer. And I'm also going to get them to do the diaries about common cold symptoms. So I'll be looking at biological markers of immune system function.
So far, scientists can't say for sure if it is cold water that makes people feel better, but they agree that more research needs to be done. But many question whether it is simply a placebo effect.
If people feel good, that's great, and we're not going to say, well, you don't feel better, because they clearly do. If they say, oh, well, I never get a cold, well, that's fine, if that makes them feel good. But if we actually want to know what's really going on and base our conclusions on evidence, then we have to do properly controlled studies.
Meanwhile, scientists at Portsmouth University have just started working on new research into whether cold water can assist with mild depression. Questionnaires that people have done in a previous study showed that cold water boosts people's mood, and it looks promising.
We swim early in the morning, And sometimes the sun's rising as you're swimming, and it's just so beautiful. And you know, even if you're feeling really, really flat before you start swimming, you always feel better when you get out. And of course, the mind and the body are so closely linked.
Whatever the effect of this sport on the body is, at least one thing is clear: it seems to leave cold water enthusiasts feeling very happy.